Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. I have made enough trains to, and fixed enough to where I know a decent amount about the mods that go in to making these masterpieces of the Create mod. And I'm going to showcase a couple of my favorites today, and then I'll probably post my mod pack in my Discord that you can find in the channel bio. But let's go over some mods. So first of all, let's go over to CurseForge. A lot of you are probably like, oh, CurseForge guy, Modrint is better. I still stand by CurseForge. Let's quickly go over to that. Alright, here we are on CurseForge. So I'm going to highlight some of my good mods and then I'll show them off here. So a bunch of these amendment stuff we'll get to in a second. The Create mods that go into this are, of course, Create miskin things. I have big cannons just in case, but this server was this mod pack was originally made for a server, so I'm gonna recommend some specific ones. So create miskin things, create crafts and additions, create deco is good, create bells and whistles, create stuff and additions. Create Copycats Plus has saved me. Easy structures if you're trying to make like abandoned stations and stuff. I'll show you about that. For the interiors of cars, Create Interiors is very, very good for that. Steam and Rails is essential when it comes to trains. You must have that mod. Dave's Building Extended has saved me in my early days of building trains, and even now, I still cannot get rid of this mod. It is so good. I extremely recommend this for boilers and just general parts. Dynamic Trees is just for nicer looking trees like around the place. Okay, you need like two copycat-ish mods. You need Frame Blocks and Copycats Plus, which I already talked about. So Create Copycats Plus and Frame Blocks are the things that let me create the designs on the side of trains that you usually don't get to see. Okay, now out of CurseForge, back in game, we're going to show you some of the mods at play. So, the last one I mentioned was Archived, or Create Design and Decor. These headlights that I use for all the steam trains are floodlights in, what's it called? Design and Decor. I always use these. These are always the best for steam trains. And then I just have regular headlights. You look up headlight, you'll get the one from Bells and Whistles. Those are generally good for diesels and electric trains. That's what I like to use them for. But for steam trains, you got that little lip that comes over the actual light. And this one will not generally be turned on, which is why you need to spawn a debug stick and scroll until you find the redstone setting. That's like a tip that I'd recommend. So Copycats are just slabs, stairs, all the blocky stuff that, like let's say that you have a block, but that block doesn't have a stair or slab variant. It'll generate one for you in a way. And then let's say it doesn't have a trapdoor variant or a little side rail variant, like those, or you need to make, what's it called? I cannot get it right now. If you need to make like tiny details on the side, those are great for those types of builds. For outlines and stuff, I'll talk about more of that. But that's Copycats. Frame Blocks is for smoother types of trains that aren't as blocky. And you'll need, I highly recommend this mod 100% because I use it a lot. So here, you have, it's the same, it has everything that Copycats has, minus a couple, like, minor blocky stuff, but it has slopes, so you can make clean, look at how clean that is. It changes between the bolt. So, it changes very, very quickly, and it has that type of body that you can't get out of a blocky type train or photo. So let's say you need like a sleek build and you don't have a block for it. Sucks. You're out of luck until you have frame blocks. And then I use it for all these types of trains. And then you have these rail designs, or what's it called? Paint designs on trains, and you have to get them exactly how the photo is. You have to use something that'll make it look cool. And not gonna lie, this looks awesome from my perspective. For that being the paint job, it looks really nice. I don't think you'd see that on many other trains. And I used frame blocks for this since it's in frame blocks you can see all of this. So all this stuff, it's basically a copycat, but different internal texture. So you see this thing right here. If you are already struggling with just messing with time. If you are generally like missing ideas, or you need to make a thin wall but still have two colors, it's perfect to have, because you can make, again, vertical slabs, but you can do that in Copycats. You can make all these slope blocks, and it has some very complicated things at times. So here, for JEI, most people know this already. Frame blocks. So this is, there's 3 pages of everything you can do with frame blocks. And generally, some of the best, like one of the best mods I've seen. For the type of stuff that I'm doing, it's great. Glow, not glow, it's great. What other mods do I need to talk about? So, I need to talk about, I did archives, Dave's Building Extended. No, okay. So here's Dave's Building Extended. This one, it adds a bunch of music, a sound generator, a bunch of that. It mainly adds these caged lights and these blocks. These steel plating, look. You see this steel plating block right there? Steel plating, steel plating. This whole train is made of steel plating. You see this train? Steel plating, steel plating, steel plating, steel plating, steel plating, steel plating. Every single train that I have made has a block of steel plating on it somewhere. It is such a good mod for like blocks for locomotives. So you've got track buffers, all these things, and it adds generally a bunch of fun stuff like seats and things like that, stuff that you already get with the Create mod. But then you have these colored boilers. So if you ever need tanks of a certain color, for example, I haven't fixed, but there's a train over here that had a green painted boiler. I haven't fixed since the map broke. I haven't fixed it. It had a green boiler, and I'm like, which mod is going to get me a green boiler? And it happened to be Dave's Building Extended. So if you need, like, if you're focusing on British locomotives, or you need a paint job for that, I highly, highly recommend Dave's Building Extended. It brings all the stuff that you need. This one wasn't really a boiler. This one was like a handmade, like frame blocks boiler. And it looks good for the locomotive that it's representing. But generally, I'd go with the Dave's Building Extended boiler, or there's another one. What is this? No, I'm sorry. I'm just... Sorry, not the main point of the video. I'm just... Redstone block. That's in the redstone box. Okay. Anyway. Then you have Steam and Rails. Essential, please. Let's see. So, if you go over to the Steam and Rails tab, it adds conductors caps. It adds... So, instead of actually having a schedule, you can bind this whistle to... Hold up, where do I have this guy? For these trains. It's this one. So, I can bound the whistle to this guy, and then he will drive to whatever, like, location I click the whistle on. So, if I click it here, it'll move up. See? So it'll move up. It's basically like an alternative to schedules, but you can do it custom where you want it. And it doesn't actually have to be like that. So then there's hand cars. I don't think I've showed off hand cars, but I didn't build this one. This was just a mod. Hand car. It's generally a hand car. It is really cool to, like, if you don't have a train, this is a portable hand car. You can just plop it on the tracks and go follow the train that you just accidentally sent off to the next dimension. Again, a bunch of different stuff. Then you have all these buffers for British locomotives, and then you have knuckle couplers for regular or for just American locomotives. You have, I'm not gonna say British, I'm gonna say European, or like, what's it called? This is more of like Western style. How do I say this? Yeah, this is more like American, and this is like European, British, like French. Like, that's all the old rail type from the EU. And then, I don't know why they just have headstocks, but I don't know. And then you've got all your different types of wood burner, streamlined smokestack, all your smokestacks. And then something fun that you can do with the hat. It's either in capital letters that you have to write it, or in lowercase letters. Got it. In lowercase, you see my hand changed. Hello. In lowercase letters, if you rename the cap sus, you become twins with the guy that drives your train. For example, if I just come over here to the 786. What's up, bro? Pick on somebody your own side. No. You can square up to these motherfuckers. Then I just thought that this was funny. And then if you go fast enough, it's just, look at the legs. The legs are just moving. I just thought that was funny. Steam and rails, very essential. I'm just going to stay like this because it's funny. What else did I mention? I mentioned this one. So if you're making abandoned train, like, stations, you have, like, broken track. So you can attach, hold up, let me get some regular create track, like that's ever gonna happen. And, like, have it run off into nothing. You can have, like, a little broken section of track. It's cool. Generally great mod for, like, that type of goal for what you're building. But not much else. It creates, like, random stations that are just abandoned. But it's a good mod. Guns just to get rid of certain stuff. And my favorite prank item. This thing. The flashbang. The flashbang is my favorite prank item. You do not understand how many servers I've had, and me and the other moderators would just start throwing this stuff at each other. What? I'm gonna have to add a meme there, hold up. Anyway, immersive paintings lets you add custom paintings. So you can load your own image. For example, I took this photo today. It could be pixel art. Why does it look so cool like that? It looks like the sunset looks cool like that. $256 blocks. $16 by $16, go. Or not. See? Look at that. That looks actually really cool. I'm going to have to put that in a photo. That is such a painting. Oh, dude, I'm going to have to get like that printed onto my wall, bro. God damn. That looks really good. Oh, I'm going to have to get that printed onto my wall. That actually looks really cool. God damn. Man, I made myself jelly. That's cool. Anyway. Again, caged lights, great. This is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, create deco props. All this stuff is good. Create deco, all the money and stuff. These are the best things since usually, sometimes there are like caged lights on the side of trains or like the little green things that kind of look like eyes on the side of the train. Yeah, that's what you'll find for that. And then placards are good for doing like numbers on the front of trains. Like when I made the cannonball, some of you that have been watching for a long time will know this. There is, if you do one of these and then an end rod, it looks like the number 1. So you can put that on the front of a train or on the side of a train, and it's just the number 1 locomotive. And I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to talk about today. Still having to fix that since I almost broke my world because something had to update. But regardless, I think I've talked about everything I need to talk about today. So generally, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this great journey through 584 now. 584 subscribers and this great journey of making all these trains. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed so far. And I will see you all in... Oh, shit, I forgot I was like this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. And I will see you all in the next one. See ya!